To all our young people watching today, let the story of the Tigress remind you that greatness is a product of hard work, discipline, and belief. There's a video circulating of some middle-aged women that are being pushed to go to the football field. Nigeria, those who dare to dream and are willing to give their best to make those dreams a reality. To the Tigress, you are champions. You are role models. You are pathfinders. You are true daughters of the land. It is my singular honor and pleasure and privilege to cherish forever. To make the following pronouncements on behalf of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Am I allowed to continue? OON National Honors for Team. OON National Honors for Team, Coach and Technical Team. $100,000 for each player. It's not yet over. There are other goodies coming. $50,000 for coach and technical team, each member. And wait for the final icing on the cake. One plot each for players, coach, and technical team. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this is leadership. To all our young people watching today, let the story of the Tigress remind you that greatness is a product of hard work, discipline, and belief. There's a video circulating of some middle-aged women that are being pushed to go to the football field. Nigeria belongs to those who dare to dream and are willing to give their best to make those dreams a reality. To the Tigress, you are champions. You are role models. You are pathfinders. You are true daughters of the land. It is my singular honor and pleasure and privilege to cherish forever. To make the following pronouncements on behalf of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Am I allowed to continue? OON National Honors for Team. OON National Honors for Team, Coach and Technical Team. $100,000 for each player. It's not yet over. There are other goodies coming. 50,000 US dollars for coach and technical team, each member. And wait for the final icing on the cake. 1 plot each for players, coach, and technical team. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this is
Is there anything bothering you? Is there anything you're thinking about at this point in time? Is there anything that you just want to say that you don't like just with what you saw in just a short moment? You cannot say no. What will be bothering you? That's why I'm here on the show today to tell you that I'm so connected to success. I don't know how I feel this day, but I feel so excited, like super excited. So you could say there's a difference when you say you're excited and you're super excited. So like a bigger one. Whoa! It's about celebration. Not long we talked about the Super Falcons, Justin Madugu and his boys and his lads, that's the word, the ladies, yeah. And now we are talking about the Tigress. If you're not careful, you must say the Tigress. So the Tigress, or just choose one, the Tigress. On the show today, I'm feeling like Rena Wakama because it's a success to see special recognition, presidential recognitions. These ladies are big. They are US stars and older and now more richer. That's the word to say. But the news is that the president of Nigeria, #1 citizen, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has rewarded each player of the Tigress team with 100,000 US dollars, a new apartment, and also the Order of the Niger OON National Honors as a token of appreciation for winning an unprecedented, fifth consecutive AfroBasket Women's Championship. Additionally, each coach, that's like a team, you could say the board, was also rewarded with 50,000 US dollars in recognition of their accomplishments and conferred with the Order of the Niger OON National Honors. Well, I bring you more of this story as we just continue, further will unfold just as it goes. My name is Kizzy K, and yes, it's a very different time again on the TV, so we can talk. You just saw that one. The Vice President Kashim Shettima, who represented the president, announced this at the welcome ceremony for the team on Monday evening when he welcomed them shortly after they arrived from Côte d'Ivoire, some like to say Ivory Coast, after the team unprecedented fifth consecutive AfroBasket women victory. Please always use that unprecedented. You might not understand. This is coming a few days after the Super Falcons defeated Morocco to leave their 10th to WAFCON title and also were decorated with national honors by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. See, I don't know. I cannot recall the last time, with all due respect, I cannot recall the last time I became a fan of the president. Yes, truth be told. But recently, this is me reaching out. This is me saying this. I'm loving all of these talks. I'm liking the fact that the president is just putting his eyes on our sports and our Falcons. He saw what he was giving. I mean, what he gave to them rather, and 3-bedroom apartment in that renewed estate in Abuja. And now the Tigress, they are in the news. The Tigress also were welcomed by the chairman of the National Sports Commission, Shehu Diko, the Minister of Arts, Culture and Creative Economy, Hanatu Musawa, and all the top government officials. Is this not worthy to be celebrated? Is this not worth talking about? Let's even talk about these ladies. Like, what more can we say about Nigerian sport? If we can be celebrating every day like this, it would be nice to say it, sincerely. I just wish we can just keep celebrating like this. Let's get to play tournaments, own it, discover it, dominate the game, and take dominance, and then we're just out there. Because this is a presidential recognition. These ladies, now, when you watch that video, you saw when the vice president said the word, when he said 100,000 US dollars. Did you hear that shout? It was a big shout, like everybody was, yeah, you can see, they were shouting 100,000 US dollars. You don't put it in Naira. Do your conversation, do your conversion, get your calculators, there's no permutations, place it, and how much does it give to you? And the good thing about this news is the fact that they do these things and they don't keep the officials on the sideline. I'm liking it. The Falcons were given amount of money. It was 150 or thereabout. Yeah, 150? Yes, 150. And also 75 million, better word, to the coaching staff. So 150 million naira in naira. Let's talk about, even though it wasn't dollar. We like to, our Nigerian, we do put dollar a lot, even though we use naira. And then 150 million naira given to each of these personalities and the officials, the Madugu and his lads, the officials, the backroom staff, they were not reaching off 75 million naira each. So this award goes round. Everyone involved in this is a particular of that success. And can I tell you one thing about this thing? I'm liking to share this news because when such thing happens, aside the money given to them by the government or by the president, so the president, that's the word, they also get brands coming to what they do. Them in him, that the lady who plays for Galatasaray, the female category side, she also was awarded 30 million by Ondo State government. So this is like a governmental celebration, presidential celebration. Everybody wants to be part of success, and that's how big these ladies are at this point in time. So on the show today, I must say congratulations to the Super Falcons of Nigeria, and congratulations to the latest winners, the Rena Wakama. Have you seen Rena Wakama? Please, I want to get the coach picture. Let's see Rena Wakama so you know. See, this lady is a top-notch lady, first lady to win it back-to-back. Rena Wakama, I am a fan of Rena Wakama because people don't understand how far she has come, how far she's gone on this job, how far she's put in her all. I'm talking about Rena Wakama, but it feels like the man behind the scenes say Rena Wakama will not come out on the show, but that's what it is. We go on. Yes, quickly, let's tell them all. Chan 2024, Super Eagles be set for historic first clash with defending champion Senegal, and that game is slated for today. Yeah, that's the game that I'll be saying. And also, Eric Chelle and his lads, good to talk about this one. Super Eagles be primed for historic showdown as they face defending champion Senegal in their opening Group D match of the 2024 African Nations Championship Chan on Tuesday. The encounter taking place at the 15,000 capacity Aman Stadium in Zanzibar City at 6 p.m. Nigerian time. This will be marking Nigerian most anticipated return to Chan after missing the 2020 and 2022 edition. The clash also represents the first ever Chan meeting between Nigeria and Senegal, adding intrigue to its West African battle. Now, despite losing several key players, including the likes of Papa Daniel Mustafa, to overseas transfer shortly before the tournament, head coach Eric Chelle, my friend, remains very optimistic about the side chances. And he said, our preparation has been good, and we plan to bring everything we've worked on into this match. Chelle stated this during Monday pre-match press conference. Addressing the challenge of facing the reigning champion, Eric Chelle emphasized quality over rivalry. He said, I don't see this as a derby. It is a contest between two big African footballing nations. Senegal have a strong generation of solid defense team, but we are ready for them. Nigeria bronze medalists in 2014 and runners-up in 2018 will rely on home-based squad featuring Nigerian Premier Football League stars, the likes of Sikiru Alimi, Michael Tochukwu, goalkeeper Ozomena Ani. Emerging talent Leonard Njenja and Dedayo Lamileko are also expected to bring youthful energy and unpredictability to the lineup. Senegal, meanwhile, entered the tournament with proven Chan experience but faced early setback after losing first-choice goalkeeper Idris Ndiaye to injury. Coach Suleiman Jallo has drafted Cheklo Ndoye as a late replacement, a change that could test the defending champion defense stability. With Group D completed by Sudan and Congo, Chelle insists his focus is solely on the opener against Senegal. He said, we're not thinking about Congo or Sudan right now. Our priority is today, and that's a very big game. We will take it bit by bit. Co-hosted by Kenya, Tanzania, and also Uganda, the 2024 Chan features a condensed Group D with just 4 teams, making strong start crucial for both Nigeria and Senegal as they aim to progress to the knockout stages. Okay. Yeah, at the talk point, let's talk about Ademola Lookman transfer saga. I've been explaining this, but we keep explaining so people understand. The king of African football, formerly they call it African Football of the Year. That's what it used to be called back in the 94, 95, 96, 97, counting down. And we saw the change, CAF best player, so not African anymore. But you need to understand that the body governing the game of African football is CAF, CAF, Confederation of African Football. Yes, so because it goes that way, that we have a Patrice Motsepe is to change. We're not about him now. It's been like that for some years now. But, like formerly I like to say, African footballers. They only had the likes of people I can't remember called George Weah or Punk, all of the Samuel Eto'o Fields, clenching of that very one. But now it's now the CAF best player. And who is the CAF best player as it stands now? Till we emerge another man, it's the king of African football, no other name but Ademola Lookman. He's in the news. His letter, like if you see his letter, it looks emotional. But sometimes we don't know until we try. You just cannot stay in a place and begin to say, Atalanta, they are wrong. Lookman is right. Lookman is right. Atalanta is wrong. You need to understand. You need to go down the nitty-gritty, understand how this works very well. Then you now know who to point the blame and say, yes, Lookman, you are to be blamed. No, Lookman, Atalanta, we should put the blames on you. So all of these things are the things that you need to put together to understand what's really going on. But on the show this day, I'm going to let you know the key points. I'll tell you the recent development. I'll tell you everything that's transpired about that Ademola Lookman still. But I'm scared because I'm Nigerian. I'm a Nigerian, right? And I'm not trying to be sentimental, but I have this, what's the word? I have this fear because he needs to be very careful. He needs to be very wary. He's looking uncertain at this point in time. But he has submitted a formal transfer request to Atalanta after he rejected, or the club, better word, rejected Inter Milan's 45 million euros. That's a bid for his services. So it's not Inter Milan saying we don't want to see him, we don't want to sign him. 45 million euros, that's the pay Inter Milan wants for Ademola Lookman. Let me call him King Ademola Lookman. Now, Lookman expressed frustration over the situation, citing broken promises and what? Poor treatment by the club. Now, on the show now, let's give you that key point. Let's talk about the transfer request. First of all, Lookman has officially asked to leave Atalanta, citing disagreement over the club's handling of transfer negotiations. You have on your screen, this was when it started. That's Gianpiero Gasperini, former manager of the side. We know his story. He's not loved anymore, not by the fans, but by the team. If you understand what I'm saying, I will explain this. Now, Inter Milan bid. Inter Milan has brought out 45 million euro offer. It was rejected by Atalanta, despite Lookman believing it aligned with the previous discussion. So he had a discussion with them. Now, he has deleted all images in Atalanta color and unfollowed Atalanta on Instagram. We just see this one. But what about the condition for sale? This is where I want Lagos, Nigeria to listen well, watch well, know these things. Atalanta CEO, his name is Luca Picassi, stated that the club would consider selling Ademola Lookman to a top European club, but he wouldn't be allowed to join another Italian team. So was this a contract? Was this a factual note? Is Lookman aware of this one? Lookman's statement reads, I've given absolutely everything to Atalanta over the past 3 years. I feel it's the right time to move on and experience a new adventure. No doubt, but Atalanta have their stance. They said the club values Lookman highly and won't sell him unless the conditions are met. Recent development, like I already told you, he's deleted Atlanta's related content from his social media posts, signaling his intent he wants to leave the club. And also, he's been a long admirer for the club of Inter Milan. Simone Inzaghi, who happens to be the former manager, has been in love with Lookman's style of play. His key reinforcement and then attacking style of play, it's really paid off. He will begin their Serie A campaign against Pisa at home in August 24. So that would be like a wrong word. So the best English to say is that Atalanta will begin their quest for the Serie A campaign against Pisa at home on August 24. Will Ademola Lookman be part of that squad? I don't even know, because I'm saying this at this point in time, his future is uncertain. But I want to say this, I've never seen an African player, not even a Nigerian, play in a Europa League final, went on the ball, stole the show, announced his name. He made the world know that, yes, I'm King Ademola Lookman. But Leverkusen sport their roadside to treble on the European scene. That's what a Lookman can bring. No disrespect to Ketelaere, no disrespect to Quadrado. They've got Devron, they've got Edison, they've got quality team, no doubt. Spinazzola, you know him. Yeah, so that one does his job for Napoli. But looking at the way this has gone so far, you would understand that Lookman is not happy with the club. Now, let's be factual. Let's talk about where does his heart lies. Truth be told, he's not interested in staying back at the club anymore. But I want to say it from the perspective of Atalanta. They want a win-win. This is quite different from that Osimhen saga. You need to know. Why am I saying this? They cannot afford to sell their best player for such amount of money. 40 million euro. Let's be factual. Let's think about it. 40 million euro is no big money for CAF best player. It's not anywhere close. So if I want to be factual, if I want to say the way it is because the road is white, and I'm not going to be in the studio to say it's black, then I'll have to say that Atalanta knows what they are doing, and they're not doing bad at this point in time. But I understand from Lookman's perspective, Inter Milan is a very big side, big club. Inter Milan, you know them. You know their story. 2010, you know what happened. You know their story. So big side. Any day, Scudetto runners up every season. Inter Milan, Christoph Mieza, you know the story. Everybody wants to play for Inter Milan. If I happen to find myself in Italy, I don't want to play for, I wouldn't want to play for Atlanta. Inter will be first. If Atlanta comes, no Inter, then Atlanta. But play for Pisa, play for Como, Bologna, Genoa. No, I don't want to play. I want to play in the top league in the Serie A. If I happen to be there, the AC Milan, the Inter Milan, the Napoli, the Lazio. These are clubs that I know growing up. So evergreen club sides. But Lookman is like, how can I get an offer like this? But on that contract, there's something that states we will not be selling him to any Italian club. Your eye not blind when you sign that thing. You not see him. You not see him. It's clear. So if Pekka say the CEO is coming to tell us this, then whose report do we believe? So Lookman is saying this align. And again, another thing I could notice in that contract talk is the fact that even if Inter Milan would want to come for him, not with that kind of money, for the 5 million euro for best player at Atlanta, come on. Let's say it now. I'm going to talk true. It's not making sense for the club side. For Lookman, he wants to go. He wants to force a move. He does not even mind boycotting the move. He just wants to go. His heart is no more at the club. He's deleted everything related, the content of Atalanta on the social. I don't know why players do that. That's how frustrated he can be. That's how frustrated he used to be. When the player is saying, doing all of this, you know the Isak story, right? How Isak is doing at this point. He wants to go out, blah, blah, blah. He went to say that he had a training. Now you're returning back to Newcastle. All you need to do is just apologize. Because I don't know how he wants to play in the mark pace come this upcoming season. Because the love is going to definitely be shared. Some fans will be like, oh, you really want to leave Newcastle, then you have to go. So the only thing that keeps him or gives him the edge to stay back at the club is just to apologize. I'm like, I'm sorry. And look, man, this is not the first time he's been in the news about Atalanta. And most of the time he comes to be in the news, it happens to be bad news. This one is bad now. So the club is trying to keep him, but for a positive reason. I cannot sell Lookman for that amount. Sincerely. If I'm the manager, if I'm the owner of the club, I have a CEO, like I have a connection with Atalanta, I cannot. I'm sorry. It's different from Osimhen's talk. Osimhen's was about Napoli being quite selfish, just quite selfish, because they don't want to sell him to Saudi. They want to sell him to Saudi to make more money, but Osimhen doesn't want to go to Saudi. So release clause was paying out. The new contract was, that was different. That's quite different to talk about Lookman. But Lookman's saga is quite, these players you have on the screen, these two players, is a lot about them. These two players in see Italian connection. Now this goes a long way. I don't know what will be the fate of Tolu Arokodare. He's a Nigerian international, plays for Genk. He's on the verge of joining the club side like Atalanta. They want him, they need him. Come and score goal, we like you. But if you join Atalanta, will you be repaid the same way Lookman is being treated now? Aside this contract talk, he's been treated bad. And I'll tell you why. Gianpiero Gasperini came out to say something wrong about Lookman. He's not the only player that have done so wrong at the club side. There are a lot of them. But the game says, let's do things right. Napoli, Atalanta. Tolu Arokodare, think wise, think fast, be decisive, and don't slow your game. If Atalanta is the best side for you, make sure everything looks to be stated. Because right now they need a striker. Skamaka, his injury worries. Then Enrique has got to Saudi Arabia. So they want Tolu Arokodare, Nigerian player who plays for Genk, who scores goals. He's a good player. We know. Now let's talk about the World Cup news. South Africa's fate hangs in the balance. South Africa is likely to face a 3-point deduction and a 3-goal penalty in the ongoing 2026 World Cup qualifiers after fielding suspended midfielder Teboho Mokoena in their 2-0 win over Lesotho. Mokoena had accumulated 2 yellow cards in previous matches, making him ineligible to play that very game against Lesotho. But the South African Football Association, SAFA, has acknowledged the mistake. So we are wrong. They know. We are wrong. We don't do bad things, so we know. This is like a news, like a recent news, and FIFA has already notified them of the breach Can I tell you if the penalty is enforced? Because the life we see today is what if, but I just believe it should be enforced. That's the table you have on the screen. If the penalty is enforced, South Africa point tally would be reduced from 13 to 10, significantly impacting their chances of qualifying for the World Cup. Now, let's talk about the impact in the Group C standing. You can see South Africa, Rwanda, Benin Republic, Nigeria, Lesotho, Zimbabwe. Now, potentially reduced to 10 points with a 3-point lead over other teams no longer guaranteed. Now, what about Nigeria? Nigeria will move to within 3 points of the group leaders, igniting their World Cup qualification hopes. Our upcoming match, Nigeria's upcoming match, will be against Rwanda. We'll still play South Africa, and a potential group deciding match that could determine the fate of both teams in the qualifiers. The final decision on the point deduction is expected to be announced before the next round of games in September. If South Africa is penalized, Nigerian Super Eagles would have a renewed chance of qualifying for the 2026 World Cup. I like to look at this table again. Let me look at this table. And I'm saying -1, -1, +1, -4. The green side, or the one painted on the green, is possible for the 2026 FIFA World Cup, where USA, Canada, Mexico will be bringing the world together come 2026. Rwanda also possible second, and that will be that that run-up. Can they make it? But if you want to be part of this one, I think your point needs to be very high, because we already have some teams that are already on the verge. Benin Republic are just somewhere chasing Rwanda. Nigeria, my country, that I pledge all the time, somewhere down the pecking order. Nigeria, number 4. Ah, that's bad. That's bad. It's so bad. Well, Lesotho number 5, and then Zimbabwe number 6. So now, I like to ask the question, why is it that whenever this, what's the word? Some people, okay, let me say it this way. Some people are saying we want to benefit from what we did not sow. But it's good to know that your destiny, our destiny, Nigerian destiny, does not lie on our hands. Now, while you pray for 3-point deduction, because I like to say it every time I say this, want to win the games, while you're preparing very well, while you're praying so hard, while you're training, working hard to get to the next phase, these teams are not sleeping either. These teams are not in the game. The likes of Zimbabwe, you might be looking at them, they can spoil the table. They spoiled our last game. When we played 1-1, Osimhen was so furious. Osimhen was upset. Nobody should touch me. You know that story, right? Uganda, on their group, you see what they are doing. Now, Rwanda, second fiddle for now. They are not sleeping. Now, who told you we are going to win Rwanda before we travel to South Africa? Who told you? How do you know? Do you realize that a draw is like a celebration in church for them? Do you know? Now, South Africa game is like a must win, and I'm liking what Eric Chelle is saying. Let's take every game beat by beat just as it comes. So for now, the manager is concentrating on the Chan side, which many would have felt like just leave the job for Daniel Ogumodede and Fidesi Lechikubo. I know he wouldn't want to do that. Why? Because at this point in time, he's still very free. So the game is next for September. We are still in August. So next month would be a very detrimental time for Nigeria if we don't make things right. If Nigeria, if you hear me talk, I'm just saying we. It's not like I don't know what to say, but I'm saying it because I am part of this one. It's just because I cannot imagine Nigeria not making it to the World Cup come 2026. The song will be, where are you going to run to? I don't know where I'm going to be running to, because I'll be very, very upset. You don't want me to share with you the last time we failed out of the World Cup, what happened, where I was. The world couldn't smooth for my eyes. I can't define I want to enter. Because I cannot imagine, I come on the radio, I come on the TV, and I'm talking about other teams like, really? No, Nigeria? That's how bad it is. But let's talk about this man, Nigerian icon, the man that I watched. I never watched him play, that's the truth. I never watched him play. Master 94, never watched him play. And I watched him play. I think YouTube did justice to that. I used to call him Keeper Rufai. Growing up, you know, I never knew it was Peter Rufai. Daddy always tell me his name is Peter Rufai. I'm like, Peter Rufai? That's a Keeper Rufai. We do this monkey post in the street of Lagos, like this small post. You know street football? So, person go there for back, now be a keeper. So if you don't do one save, now you play one shot, you go save and they'll call you Keeper Rufai. And I like Keeper Rufai. I never knew it was Peter Rufai, but he's a Nigerian icon, and let's let you know that the date, has been fixed. The late Nigerian football icon, Peter Rufai, will be laid to rest on Friday, 22 August, as his family finalizes burial plans for the former Super Eagles goalkeeper, widely admired for his services to Nigerian football, as preparations are underway. The Professional Footballers Association of Nigeria, PFAN, in a recent press statement, has called on the Lagos State government, the Sports Commission, talk about the National Sports Commission, that's the word, and also the Nigerian Football Federation, NFF, to honor Peter Rufai with a send-off, that's the word, send-off worthy of a national hero. Was he a hero? Yes, he was. He was formerly known as Dodo Mayana. During his playing days, he passed away last month, 3 July, sending shockwaves through the football community. A widely respected figure, Rufai was a Nigerian first. He was a Nigerian first choice goalkeeper during the country's golden football years in the 1990s. He played a key role in Nigeria's triumph at the 1994 Africa Cup of Nations and featured prominently in 2 FIFA World Cup tournaments, USA, you could say USA 94 and France 98. In a statement issued by, after a condolence visit to the Rufai family home, Amuwa Odofin, that's the word, estate, Amuwa Odofin, I pronounced right, Lagos. PFAN, that's the Professional Football Association of Nigeria, described the late shortstopper as a patriotic, dedicated, and totally committed servant of the nation, and has urged authorities to give him a carnival like a festival. Please, now quoting the PFAN, Peter Rufai served Nigeria with passion, determination, and pride. He deserves a state honor and a befitting farewell from the people he represented so well on the world stage. Who is the people he represented? He wore the national jersey. He played for the badge. He was integrated to the team. He's played at the 2 World Cup. World Cup where this ones won't go, where they never go. 2 World Cup, 1994 and 1998. He was a shot stopper. So when Nigeria won Spain, did you see that goal from Odisa 3-2 where Rashidi can something he did, like the ball came up and he had to, he bent over the ball, like he had to go there, and you saw that one. It went so well. So that time was that's 98 against Spain. We won the game 3-2. Nigeria went now, nothing beat Spain. This Spain, I go hard. Peter Rufai was in that squad. So the condolence visit on 30 July was led by Tajudeen Ajide and included notable ex-internationals such as Clemens Atemile, Tajudeso, and Prince Will Bogudu. During the visit, Mr. Ajide assured the family of the ongoing support, stating that the station is already in contact with relevant authorities to ensure the late goalkeeper's legacy is properly celebrated. Please, let's celebrate our icons well. Let's celebrate the ones we've lost in the struggle. Let's celebrate the people that have suffered. They've laid down their heart, body, soul, spirit, and mind for Nigeria. I'm not going to break this table. We're going to talk about Nigeria matter. Dele Rufai, who spoke on behalf of the family, expressed deep appreciation for the visit, describing it as a timely and deeply comforting. As part of the funeral program, PFAN is working with the Lagos State government and then the Lagos State Football Association to organize a valedictory football match on 22 August. Now, let's tell you that the match is expected to be held at the Teslim Stadium or Onikon Stadium and will feature all registered football clubs and academies in Lagos State, all kitted in their official color. Various divisions of the All-Star International Football Club will also participate in the tribute game. Rufai's journey in football began at Lagos-based Stationary Stars and quickly rose to national prominence. Beyond his time with the Super Eagles, he had a successful club career in Belgium, the Netherlands, Portugal, and Spain, becoming one of the Nigerian earliest goalkeeping exports to Europe. In their retirement, that's the word. Rufai dedicated his time to youth development and football advocacy. He mentored aspiring goalkeepers and occasionally worked with the national youth team. Why will you not respect him? Why? Just why? Why? I saw NFF and I'm like, Nigerian Football Federation, Nigerian Football Federation. Football Federation is like all low. Why can we not set a date, keep a reminder, keep a memory for the ones we've lost in the struggle? I can start naming of these guys. It's set. Okay, let's talk about USA 94. Some players who are late. I know some squad. Thompson Oliha. Yes, Thompson Oliha is late today. Rufai is also late now. Are we going to ever see games being played? Are we going to see MPFL games holding on live where we'll see Remo start playing against Shooting Stars of Ibadan? Shooting Stars playing, or you see, what's the club? Kano Pillars playing against Niger Tornadoes, and we are seeing the MPFL players lined up with their band, this band to show that's able to keep the date. We see it in English football. Sometimes I watch Premier League games and I'm like, who is this man? I don't even know him. YouTube will have to do just. I have to go and Google him to know who's this man. And you're seeing Frank Daniel. You just see one name, and you're saying 1984 to. And this man, some of those guys who are even doing the stand don't even know the man. But this is a record to be kept. Why are we not doing things right? When are we going to keep doing things like we have to see games? Everybody, they'll just be on the still. And we honor our legends who played the game. Because without all of this thing, there was the need of playing for Nigeria. There's no need. Because during this playing time, we cannot compare the money that's on the game as at that time till now. And one thing is certain, if these people don't do things right, mouths to keep waggling, eyebrows to keep being raised, they need to put things right. Memory for those who have lost their life in the struggle. It a pain more. See, me will complain for Nigeria now, it's not even looking right. Let's say more factual. Let's say it the way it is. Christian Chukwu, 1980 Nations Cup winner. He's the chairman. They call him. That's the name. Stephen Keshi was part of the US 94. He was the skipper of the side. Even though he wasn't getting more games because of injury, we know the story. But he was what's the word? They call him boss, big boss. That's the leadership quality he has. He wasn't starting games. He played a few games as a centre back, but he wasn't a starter in the 94 squad. They had a very quality compacted team. You know, you're seeing Okechukwu, you're seeing Iguanfon from the right back. You're seeing Benny Roja. You're seeing JJ, who was in to succeed Oliha, who's late today. And you're seeing Olise. Siasa was on that team. Sometimes he does not get started. Finidi George was there. And Monike was there. Mokachi was there. He danced, he scored. So that team, I felt like that was when we had that structure from 98 going down to 94. I watched them play. When I watched them play, like I go via YouTube and I'm like, this is what it is. How many of them are still on the game today? How well are they respected? They're not respected like they should be respected. Let's be factual. Let's be saying like respect should be given to who it's due. Why are we not talking about our legends anymore? Well, that's being said, let's move from the legend to the coach like a father. That same 94, we had one man that I worked with when I was playing for Kwara Football Academy back in Kwara State, and later Football College of Excellence, Kwara Football Academy. At that point, before I got signed to Kwara United under Bukola Sheraki's governance, we had Clemens Westerhoff. He was the director of sports at that time, but he's also, what's the word he calls himself? Having a chit chat with him, he calls himself a Dodgerian. He does not believe he's just a Dutchman. He calls himself a Dodgerian. He loves Nigeria. He eats our food. He likes our men. He likes our women. Now, let's talk more. We had a visitation just recently, a visit, where we did say Nigerian football legend JJ Okocha, so good that he had to be named twice, recently welcomed his former national team coach, Clemens Hendrik Westerhoff, to his home in Lagos. Now, Westerhoff shared moments from the visit on Instagram on Friday and expressed gratitude to Okocha for the warm reception. I'm not talking about Peter Rufai now. I'm talking about Westerhoff with JJ Okocha. Yes, according to Westerhoff, he said, unforgettable nights of my life in Lagos, Nigeria, with my boat and my boy, JJ Okocha. Hashtag, thank you for hosting me and all my life. I mean, not talking about Peter Rufai, but we go on a break. When we return, the show continues. I feel like Peter Rufai should be on the show, but we'll talk about Westerhoff when we're back. Please stay with us.
To all our young people watching today, let the story of the Tigress remind you that greatness is a product of hard work, discipline, and belief. There's a video circulating of some middle-aged women that are being pushed to go to the football field. Nigeria belongs to those who dare to dream and are willing to give their best to make those dreams a reality. To the Tigress, you are champions. You are role models. You are pathfinders. You are true daughters of the land. It is my singular honor and pleasure and privilege to cherish forever. To make the following pronouncements on behalf of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Am I allowed to continue? OON National Honors for Team. OON National Honors for Team, Coach and Technical Team. $100,000 for each player.
Everybody likes money, everybody likes success, everybody likes something good. You did see that video, Kashim Shettima, on behalf of the #1 citizen of Nigeria. But I was telling you about Clemens Westerhoff before we went on a quick break, and I want to continue. I like to quote the Dutch international. He said, "Unforgettable night of my life in Lagos, Nigeria, with my boy JJ Okocha. Hashtag thank you for hosting me and my wife, that's Lillian." So the wife is Lillian. "It was a pleasure to reconnect and share the good old days." The Dutch tactician led the Super Eagles between 1989 and 1994, a golden era in Nigerian football history. During this tenure, Nigeria clinched its second African Cup of Nations title in 1994 and made a historic debut at the FIFA World Cup that same year, finishing at the top of the group and featured that group actually had the likes. I think they had Argentina, Bulgaria, and Greece. Yes, that's true. That's a true story. Okocha earned his first cap for the national team under the man you're seeing him sitting close. Yes. And went on, that was a very, very big one, on the national team under Westerhoff's guidance, and went on to become one of the most celebrated players in Nigerian football history. I'll tell you tomorrow about the bitter truth. I'll tell you tomorrow about one of the news that you need to know. That story that says a lot. What's the word? I'll tell you about Emma Raducanu in the world of tennis. You know, she's doing well for herself. We'll talk about glory to glory. We'll talk about Edo Sports Commission, where the boss celebrates the win in badminton, rugby, and also we're celebrating the Tigress as well. But that will not be coming your way now, because I should be wrapping up with this very set news on the Okocha saga. So good that JJ had to invite Westerhoff. Can I tell you, I told you this, that we had that structure. We had this very good structure during that time. If you remember Japan 93, someone like Kizikeme, you born at that point, I can explain these things. Japan 93, Mobio Korako, the guys, Wayosino Ruma, he was a very great number 10. Who else was there? Kano one called Celestine Bayard. These guys were young and quite skinny at that point. They also were good enough to be integrated to the national team, to the Super Eagles for Westerhoff. But they look, it was a structural talk, like just be quiet. Let's make do with it once we have. So there was this connection. Peter Rufai, Igwavon, Rashidi Wano, Stephen Keshi, Uche Okechukwu, Finidi George, JJ, Sondalise, Amokachi, Amunike, So Rashidi Yakini, the first man that scored a World Cup goal for Nigeria. I will never forget our all-time lead top scorer, even though the still smell still breaking, but at that time, we'll still give him that record. He's late today. Oh, Stephen Keshi is late too. So, like 4. I can remember 4 now from that team that's late. The goalkeeper, Peter Rufai, Thompson Oliha, Rashidi Yakini. Who else is late? Stephen Kechi. Okay. Not good to be shared, but good that we need to let you know, so you understand that this one's played the game. Now, when you watch the transition in at 96, it was quite different. That's the structure that I want to see. Can we envisage? Can we go back to that drawing board? Going back to the drawing board, not me say you carry something, you go right and say, "Now, board, be this." So you go back to the drawing board, make things right. Let's talk about the 96 squad, Atlanta 96, where same America, we dominate now. And that time you see that some when Nigeria win Brazil, better cry. Romario, their squad out there, they did the Ronaldo de Lima. He did it now, Rivaldo. They were so small then. But we had a very decent squad. Dosu Joseph, amazing goalkeeper, even though after the accident and was off. You know, looking at the Mobile Paraku, Kanu stole the show against Argentina, against Brazil. We dominated. The paper was in that squad. No Siasia. Ikpeba was there, Amunike was there, Amakachi was there. They were part of the 96. So you could see the structure. Some of them that went to the Tunisia 94 were not part of the Olympics. So it was Uche Okechukwu was also there as a leader. He wasn't the skipper because Kanu was the skipper, even though I think they played with Chain at that point. So we had that structure. Celestine Babayaro, that's the name. Teslim Fatusi. So all of these guys, when I talk about them, like, can we still have that structure like we used to have in the days? But that's the part that says in Nigerian statements, so help. So let it be. Then you say one statement will also say, so help us God. One statement will also say, let's help ourselves. One statement will also say, so let it be. So a lot, so. Let's put things right. If we don't go back to make things the way it should be, the structural process, then we'll be making things wrong. I wonder why I want to play for the national team, and the only way I can be called up to the team is if I don't play my trade abroad. Not be clear, people tell you go Tanzania, and they tell you, matter. Go see player, fine player like this. You say, what are you doing? What are you doing in Chad? What are you doing in Benin Republic? What are you doing there? Congo. Thank you so much for being part of the show. I need to go. Yes, this is the sports public show that comes your way every weekdays. My name is Kizzy K, the only football player without a jersey. I'll see you again. And this is what it is. Peace.